What's going on, my friends? I hope that you're well. Um, Sometimes I get something on my mind. I want to get on and talk. Uh, I guess it's kind of an addition to the video that I did a couple weeks ago on, or maybe it was last week when I did my thoughts on Object from Reason Studios, the new synthesizer. And as I didn't get it, I mean, it's not that I didn't get it. It's just, yeah, the whole object modeling synthesis is cool and all. Don't get me wrong. It's just, I think my point is that it has to be something I really can use if I'm gonna drop $80 on it. You know, it's gotta have something I can really put in my arsenal and use. As I said, I do a lot of things with that are sound design, a lot of things that are with film and TV music that I do, and things that I have to kind of step out of my comfort zone and really do. I know. I know the last video, some people were like, well, you know, some people just don't take the stairs. I get it. I do all the time. There's a lot of things I do. I think it's just, you know, or telling me to read the manual. First of all, I couldn't find the manual. I looked logged in on Reason. I didn't know if it was on the Synth or in Reason's manual. Maybe it's in the middle of that. I have to go back and look again. But I get it, you know. However, I will say, I watched the live stream from Ryan and Matthias. It came out yesterday or this morning, I think. It was actually pretty cool. Listen, I love Reason. They make great stuff. They really do. It's amazing stuff. Listen, I think Object is a great synth. I think it would work well for a lot of people. I guess it's preference of what you want to do, you know. With me, I have a lot of these real instruments, and I don't need to create one that I already have. I can take those real instruments and do cool things with it. But there is one thing that I caught that was so cool about that, and you've seen this, you watched the live stream, and you also watched Ryan do it in his overview video with the microphones. You can record your own sounds. Being that I'm a guitar player, I thought it was cool, is that you can play your own guitar parts, really good guitar parts, and you can take those guitar parts and you can model them into another instrument, which I think is really cool. That is very cool. I totally agree with that. If you don't want to drop $1,200 on a jam stick, which is that MIDI controller that they do is incredible. You can do that. Yeah, it makes sense. If you're not a guitar player, it may make more sense for you. Me being a guitar player, I think, you know, would I drop $80 on Object right now? Probably not, because I don't have a use for it right now, even though I would. One of the first things I would do is I would plug my guitar up and I would do some cool stuff with it. I thought that, and I get it, man, okay? That's the cool thing about it. And everybody finds their use for it and something cool about it. So as a follow-up to my last video, I'm understanding it better, and I do get it, but I just don't get why it's something that I need, and that's okay. I mean, I just kind of initially had that reaction of like, I don't get it. You know, I just don't get it, you know? And I think it's because I don't think it's like overly special, because there are some of those things in other sense that, you know, a lot of the synthesis that they do have, some of the frequency manipulation and such is in other synths. It's, I think it's just it's the order of how object synthesis works, of being able to recreate frequencies of other instruments. Again, when Matthias picked up his guitar and turned it into like a sitar, which I thought was so cool, it sounded great. A lot of the pitching and a lot of the things that he was doing, I think, is really cool. I think at the end of the day, I'm not the most intuitive person when it comes to synthesizers and like ground up sound design, from ground up, going in and taking some bare sine wave and going, okay, what do I do? Or sawtooth. I've never been the best at that. Even though you toy with something long enough, you're going to get something. And if you're trying to shoot for something that you're looking for, eventually you'll get there. Will you be able to create anything you want with Object? I don't think so. I don't see where that's at. It's a lot of percussive type stuff, and the percussive that you can turn into things, I think is cool. I do believe that you can take anything and put it in Object, and you can create something different out of it, which is cool. I think it's just creating instruments that I already have. I don't know if it's something I really need right now. However, as I said, one of the first things I would do is plug my guitar in that thing and do it. I do wish it did have a drag and drop, kind of like a sampler, where you can drag stuff in there easier than just connecting the back of the cables. But That's not that much effort. I mean, that's nothing. I can flip the rack and do that. I think it's cool. So I do get it, but I just don't, see the point in getting it right now. So if you haven't seen that live stream that Ryan and Matthias did at Reason Studios, go watch it, because when he picked his guitar up and started doing a lot of cool stuff with things you can do with the microphone live, recording into it, I think that's probably, to me, the most value of that synth. I think it's something unique, but I think I would be more inclined to, and I haven't picked one up yet and I do want one, is getting a jam stick. And going that route and having it as a MIDI controller, because being a guitar player, and I'm not a big keyboard piano player, even though I can right hand the hell out of some stuff. I'm not, Elton John or Billy Joel by any stretch. Nowhere near it. I think being comfortable with a guitar and doing that stuff, I think you can really do some cool stuff with synth and various other things and instruments that one MIDI controller can do for pretty much anything you're doing in your computer, and still have my guitar to do audio, which I do quite a bit of. I really do. But as it stands, the jam sticks are about $800 now. They're not as much as I thought they'd be. They're the new ones with the humbuckers. The cool thing about those jam sticks is that you can play them as a guitar. They have humbuckers in them, pickups, and you can plug it and do it as a MIDI. So you can actually do both, which I think is real cool. You can layer that stuff. In one recording, you can have an audio track and a MIDI track, and you can layer them and do that. So I've just been juggling, whether I would want to get that or not. But I think they are so cool. And if you've never seen the jam sticks, the new one, go check those out on YouTube, because I'm telling you, there's a lot of people doing some really cool stuff with it. And the cool thing is, if you have one guitar that can do everything, you can travel with one guitar, not have 3 or 4 guitars. Like when I traveled with my RV, I had 2 or 3. You can take a guitar and make bass notes out of it. You can just layer them and filter them right. You can pretty much on your top E string, your low string, you can do bass tracks with that, and it would get you through until you got back to your bass guitar if you really wanted to do that. So, but I think the point here is that we have 1,000,001 options. Should we just go buy every option, knowing that we can do what we want with other things in our own way, instead of just buying everything thinking it's going to solve all your problems? If you have a use for that synth object, go get it. If you're a Reason Plus subscriber, well, you have it already. I still am on a trial for a couple weeks, and I may mess with it a little bit more and see. I think their introductory price goes away today, which oh well, I'm not in a hurry to go buy it. So if I do, I do. If I don't, I don't. But I thought I would pass that on, because I know I got some flack on my last video, like, well, you just don't get it, or you don't take the stairs, and you didn't read the manual. I'm like, I do more than you think I do, if you knew more about me. But the thing is I have to initially understand that there's some use for it with me, and I really don't have any use for it right now. Not that it's bad, I just don't have any use for it. But chime in, as always, on your opinion. It's okay in your comments. If there's even more that I need to understand about Objekt, let me know, because if you've messed with it, I'm always willing to learn new things. Always willing to do that. Maybe someone else can get me more intuitive into this object synthesis and help me understand that it is something I could use. Maybe it is in time, but right now, probably not. But anyway, thank you guys for watching. I'm going to get off here. When something else comes along cool, I'll cut you in. And I appreciate you for watching. Be cool. Bye.